a decision. Then you can take risk. So faith is not just jumping into anything. No, you have to have intelligent risk, or you have to have the proper knowledge about what you are doing. High flyers think in terms of assets and liabilities. They make relevant inquisitions before subscribing to any quest in life. Relevant inquisitions are made. They make relevant what? If you don't know that field that you are doing or you are part of, if you don't know it, go to school and learn it. Go and find out and pay and learn it. Or spend time on the internet. One of the things that has helped me as a pastor now is anytime I discover that there are some certain areas I don't know, I just go into the internet and I have a lot of information that I can read, compare and contrast. That has helped me even in my ministry of the word. I have my idea, this is what I want to preach, but somehow that very thing, I will not just stand on my own and say, this is what I'm going to preach. No. What I do is, I go through the internet and find 10 other people who have, either taught the same thing or preached the same thing, go through their, whatever they are doing, and be very sure. Armed with their own information, I add my own on top. A new thing has come out. Why? The reason is because no person is an island. You are not an island, so try to make sure you inquire. David would always inquire, even though he was a military general with high reputation. But he would always inquire of the Lord. Should I do this or should I not do it? Now, as a result of that, he fought 67 wars in his own lifetime and he didn't lose one. Not single one. Not a single one. Every battle he fought, he knew it. Why? The reason was because of inquisition. He was a military tactician, but he will not take a step until when he has made perfect inquiry. He was so sure he will win, but at the end of, by the time they are about to leave, he will now say, no, Abiathar, come. That is the priest. Come. Can you console God? We have already decided we are going to fight, but let us find out from God. Is this battle his or our own battle? And when Abiathar comes, you say, yeah, this battle is your own. If not, you know what will happen? You say, no, don't do it this way. The other time he said, they just won a battle, and by the time they came back, another battle was about coming, and then David inquired. He said, no, let us not go and fight. Inquire of the Lord. And then God told them, this time around, don't, go and fight them. All you need to do is wait. Until when you heard noise from the mulberry trees, the way you hear them sounding, then it means I've given you a signal. You can now attack. But if you go like you went the other time, they will defeat you. This time you will hear movement in the mulberry trees, and then you can go now and attack. And that was it, and they were able to succeed. So make inquiry. Even if you are doing business, make inquiry in that very business. Find out. Discover, ask questions. How do I go about this kind of business? And thank God, Dominion Chapel Kubo are blessed with so many people that are into several things that you can go and ask. Find out. When you see somebody succeeding, find out the secret of the success of that person. That person may help you. The other time somebody, how do you call it? One person went to Dubai. I think they had just paid something that has to do with a very large sum of money from government. I think she lost a relation or so. So they paid her very big money. And she came to me and said she wanted to go to Dubai. I said, you want to go to, don't go to Dubai. Yo. What do you want to use the money for? He said, the money is here. But I want to use it, but I want to go to Dubai. I said the first thing is, now that you've gotten this money, first thing, give the one that belongs to God first. He said yes. And that money never came. She went to Dubai and came back, and the money just went like that. The whole money just went like that. Is somebody still here now? Now. And she has some little children. It got to a point when she had to start begging. And the man that the land where the husband built now started problem. A pastor like me too wanted to sack her out of that land. It took the grace of God through me and then the can chairman, and then that we had to now stabilize and refuse, that man from doing whatever. I was insulted for that. Why? The reason was because somebody didn't make inquiry. Some of us, the moment when we have money, we just do anything we want to do, and then at the end of the whole day, it doesn't work. If she had followed my advice and kept that money, or even common tithes out of that, pay it. She said no, she will not pay. And she made a promise that we should pray, when they pay her that money, she will pay her tithes. She will pay. We prayed and fasted. And at the end of the whole day, when the money came, no, she said no, she will not pay. And as a pastor, what will I do? Will I force her? No. And I left her. The money went down the drain. Every kobo of it, one single kobo like this was never gained. They make relevant inquisition before subscribing to any quest in life. Number 3, they dedicate their time and effort to causes that contribute value to their lives and avoid pursuits that offer meaningless and short-lived satisfaction. That's what they do. They dedicate their time and effort to causes that contribute value to their lives and avoid pursuits that offer meaningless and short-lived satisfaction. Whoever is a high flyer will always pursue the causes that contribute value to their lives, not take away from their life, no. And avoid pursuits that, offer meaningless and short-lived satisfaction. Now look at the life of Joseph. Look at the life of Joseph, a high flyer too. Genesis chapter 39, 7 to 12. Genesis 39, 7 to 12. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast longing eyes on Joseph. And she said, lie with me. But he refused and said to his master's wife, look, my master does not know what is with me in the house, and he has committed all that he has to my hand. There is no greater in this house than I, nor has he kept back anything from me but you, because you are his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? So it was, as she spoke to Joseph day by day, that he did not hit her, to lie down with her or to be with her. But it happened about this time when Joseph went into the house to do his work, and none of the men of the house was inside, that she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. But he left his garment in her hand and what? And fled and ran outside. Remember, I'm talking about avoiding the charm of vain things, am I right? Yes, Joseph avoided it. Avoided it. He would have agreed with this woman, and that would have ended it all. That would have ended it all. But somehow, that thing that God had given him to have in the future wouldn't have come to pass in his life. So that is life. You must avoid the charm of vain things. Look for things that will add value to your life and value to the society. And that is it. So when you do that, it has the capacity to help. He ran away. He avoided it. He avoided anything. It is not in this time. Some of us, anytime we say anything that looks like gold, we go for it. We go for it immediately. We can cast off restraint and have whatever we want to have. We just run after it and get it immediately. And that is it. Anytime I remember the life of one of our daughters, then I was in charge of the Garki church. Well, I just came in newly, yes, I just came in newly. Very fine woman, doctor, very fine woman. And she was a hustler. Among the sisters of Dominion Chapel around that time, I think she was the only one that had a house in, Karimo? She had a house that around that Jabi area, Karimo side, yes. She had a house, built a house for her parents, and went and brought the parents. Now, the pressure that was on her to have money made her to start doing some certain things at Abuja here that was not supposed to be done. At that age, I think I was just about 30-something years old, and I sat her down and I told her, no, don't do that. Now that you have given your life to Christ, leave all other things and serve Him. But the pressure that was coming from her family continued, and she contracted AIDS. Around that time, the AIDS was not like what you can handle now. You can, people like you had not come on the scene yet to discover what, at least they can take some retroviral drugs and so on. There wasn't anything like that. That was how that girl died. It got to a point the thing entered her, and she would come to my office and say, Daddy, how I gave my life for my own family, see what has come to me. You see her lie down on the carpet in my office, and throughout the only place she could find comfort was in my office. The whole day she will come, wake up from the morning time, and she will come and just find them. Even sleep, she couldn't sleep in her house. She will come to my office and lie down and sleep. While I'm attending to other people, she'll be sleeping by the corner there. Because that's the only person that at least could give her a word of hope. Every other person she has helped deserted her. So vain things, be very careful. Be very careful with vain things. You can have it all, but a day will come when you will not be there, and there's nothing you can do about them. Job taught us a lesson. Though we in the Pentecostal, we don't emphasize it. Naked have I come here, naked will I go. We don't emphasize it. And that's why you see people killing themselves for something that is vain, and it's not going to help them anywhere. Buy cars, buy houses, buy whatever, travel to every part of the world. It was Papa that was telling us that Rolls-Royce company made more money last year. They have never made money like that in all their life. They made it last year during coronavirus. You know the reason? The rich people were dying of corona, so they said, let us enjoy our money before we die, since coronavirus is coming. Vain. So they were the Rolls-Royce company that it is only rich people, once in a while they buy their cars. This time around they were rushing and buying their cars so that they can enjoy it. Does that have any meaning at all? Now you see, instead of running back to God and finding solution with God, they are running to where? To vain things. Child of God, let me give you a counsel. I had some of these very simple things with my wife. We were buying some lands here and there, both in the village and other places. One day God sat down, I just had God told me, stop that. Enough is enough. The best you can have is have where you can put your head. That's why anytime I'm going to build, I will not build anything that, how do you call it, will look very bogus. No, it's something simple. So that when you don't need to, like if you have, those of you that understand life, if you have a very big house, for example, and then you are getting old, the tendency is servants. Well, it's only servants that will come around and be working for you. That's all. That's why the Oyibo man, if you see an Oyibo man, with all the riches of Bill Gates, what bedroom is he living in? I think it's a 3 or 2 bedroom flat. That's all. And using one, how do you call it, simple, how do you call it? This thing that looks like Volkswagen. Simple. So life, take it easy. Just take it what? Easy. And then pursue your passion. If God blesses you with money, find a way of investing it in such a way that when you get to heaven, you will see it. But if you spend it on vain things here, at the end of the whole day, you will leave them here. And God help you if your children are not the type that can handle things. That is the end of it though. 2 Timothy 2:16 says, but shun profane and idle babblings, for they will increase. They will increase to more ungodliness. Shun them. Vain things, shun them like a plague. I believe as we continue to mature in our Christian faith, there are some teachings that we need so that it can change our perspective in life. Hello? No, these teachings are tough. There are things that, even as I'm saying it, there are some that me too, I'm working on them. I tell you the truth. You have to be very, very careful, because this, as you grow in life, okay, now look at it. For example, quarter, if I add 20 years to my years now, that's 80. Am I right? So after 80 years, what next? Some people are saying 120. Thank God for you. But I tell you the truth, by the time you are about 90, 100, you will hate this wall. Yes, you will hate this wall. No matter your faith. The person that talks so much about faith was Kenneth Hagin, am I right? But it got to a point he couldn't stand to talk like I'm talking. Most times they had to wheel him and come to bring him to church and make him to sit down, and then he would just be prophesying, and that is it. 87 years old, he went. Simple. Hello? Billy Graham lived all to 90 or 90 something, am I right? It got to a point, it was the same. My favorite preacher was R.W. Schambach. R.W. Schambach. Up to today, I love him. I hear his messages. That man was on fire. He encouraged us when we were in the university. That was the kind of person that I like to be like. But at the age of 87 or 80 something, he too couldn't come out. Who was this other person? The most recent one, not Miles Moreau. Reinhard Bonnke is the same thing. I had to hand over the ministry to somebody before he died. Maurice Solilo contracted a disease that he couldn't walk any longer. Now, as long as you are on this age and this age, check very well. Recently I sat down and said, no matter how powerful God used people, I'm not talking about sinners, how God used them in Bible times, people like David, Abraham, and so on and so forth, you will discover. That's why one time, just take this Bible and read it from Genesis to Revelation. You will discover some certain things. I found out recently that every one of them, at one point or the other, they had to go. So pursuing vain things will never help. That's why some of us, the little that God gives us, what do? I'm not a fool. I know what I'm doing. Any little thing that God gives me, what do I do with it? If I'm able to take care of my wife, children, their school fees and other things like that, I won't go and begin to look for something else. No. What do? I send it to people that are in need. As you leave this afternoon, I see you being passionate. And as you leave this afternoon, I see you not pursuing vain things. And as a result of that, God will bring unusual blessings in your life. You will have more than enough so that you can earn some value for eternity. Rise up on your feet. I want you to open your mouth and say this after me. My Father, my Father. I didn't hear it very loud. Beginning from today, my life will count. I will pursue my passion for the remaining days I have on earth, and I will not go on after vain things. I will go on things that have substance, that have backing from you, that will cause me to fulfill the passion you have given me. In Jesus' mighty name. Can I hear you say amen now? Put your hands together for the Lord. Put your hands together for the Lord. Sit down and get your offerings ready. Have we been blessed this afternoon? Okay. Praise God. Check him for. Part Divine, come. Yes. I don't. Deaconess Part Divine. I call her like that because she's directly my daughter. Just like I call Dorcas. Yes.